Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Let's Play Star Drive 2 Tips and Tricks. First, a small recap about the races. Whenever you choose a race in the beginning, you choose four things. First, with taking the picture, you choose the race ground compatibilities. Some of the races have special ground compatibilities, some have not. Second, you choose the interior size of your ships. Some races have very big ships like this one here, you see a lot of space. Some races will have cruisers with not even half the interior space of, like the Wolfgar, for example. Third, you choose special technologies. Every race has special technologies that only they can develop. They might not be your technologies or good for you if you manually manipulate the races. For example, if you're taking the polyp, the plants, and you take their ability to photosynthesis, you will later discover technology that gives you a special ability to all your photosynthetic citizens. But as you're taking away the trade, the technology becomes useless, so keep that in mind. These robot guys here, for example, get a special technology on fighter planes, so if you have no fighter planes, well, no use. Fourth, you take out one of the races of the race. So, for example, if you don't like the machine guys, like I do, as opponents, you take them yourself. If you don't like the Wolfgar that much, you'll take the Wolfgar, because then they're out of the battle for you. So, that brings us to technologies. There is one technology I strongly recommend for everybody, and that is xeno-assimilation. This will allow you to get technologies whenever you conquer an enemy planet that has technology that you have not. And when you're playing on Brutal, that's more than likely. So, xeno-assimilation it is. Best weapon technology there is, in my eyes, is the Fighter Bay module. It's incredibly strong. Fighter base, big time. So, about planets. We see that planet here is not building anything, because this guy is simply building food. We can transfer this little guy here. They will still get food, because we have freighters. You see now one of our freighters is en route to support that planet. If we put him back, you will see the freighter is not needed. So the overall food production has two effects. It can supply planets that have no own food supply, and it can be made into money, because every piece of food that you are not using on a planet is directly transferred into money, as long as it does not extend the number of people on this world. For example, I can make plus 10 gold by food at the moment, but not more on this planet. So that brings me to this little view, very important. This little view allows you to keep an eye on your empire. Click that every round, at the end of every round if you can. You can transfer citizens from one planet to another, assuming you have a free transport. That is important because when you conquer enemy planets and you want to get rid of the population, or you want to use your own population instead of the enemies, take your guy and transfer him to the planet at hand. You need a transport for that, and the transport can be attacked. Be aware of that. Down here you see your resources. So, and your production line, of course. We have our little frigate here, our exploration frigate. We take a look at it and we see it's totally stuffed with fuel cells. We don't need that ship anymore, so we're left with two possible choices. We can scrap it, or we can make it into a fighter plane. So let's try the fighter plane, for example. I was asked what weapons are good. The question was, why take laser weapons at all? They're not very powerful. No, they're not. But they're cheap. Look at this. 3 hammers. That's a totally cheap weapon. Compare that to this one. 8. Or to this one, 8, or to the Vulcan cannon, well, that's 4, but look at the range. This is the damage, that is the range. There are 2 weapons I recommend for start. This one here is the artillery cannon. It is a powerful weapon, yes, but the problem is it's very inaccurate. This down here will allow you to make it fire faster, but it costs 50% more hammers, more production to get it running. Same with speed for the projectiles or heavy. So the main problem is you do that if you have very little space. If you have enough space, don't take that. I, for myself, recommend rockets. Rockets are great. Why are rockets great? Because rockets give you a lot of firepower and these missiles are guided. So, now you're saying, what is the guy doing? How can that ship ever fly? Well, I hope I can make it flying. So, I think a small one is enough. Yes. We'll need ordnance. We'll need a lot of ordnance. With so many rockets, you can be sure that there is a lot of ordnance needed. So, we have 90 seconds of firing time. That should be enough for anyone who engages this ship. So, what else do we need? We want an engine. We don't need a big engine here. So, some fuel cells. And more fuel cells to get some range. So I have no armor, I know. That ship is not built to endure. It's built to deliver damage. So let's give it a name. One shot, because that's primarily what it is. So what can we do now? I can say go there and make a one-shot refit out of it, and it will go to the planet. Now we'll have it at the planet oversight, and you see it costs very little compared to build a new one. So refitting is, in fact, a possible solution. So we're close to this Chuk affiliation, and we can be sure that these guys will attack us sooner or later. More sooner than later, I fear. About buildings. I strongly suggest that you build on hammers, primarily. Why? Because hammers build hammers. For example, you build an automatic rover bay that gives you more hammer, that gives you a flat production, and that will help you to produce more other buildings. So we have a food overproduction, so we put him 2 more hammers. And quick look on the planet's oversight. Everyone's building, that's nice. Everyone's building, that's nice. So they're building now the exploration frigate, or they're rebuilding it to be more precise. So in theory we could start sacrificing people. Uh-oh, look at this. They're offering us a tribute to keep us alive. We can say no, and we will say no, because we're not answering that threat, but you can be sure that they will be on their way now. So, and they will logically attack our planet here first. Now the question is, what can we do? What can we build? We build an automatic bay, because if we want to build bigger ships, we'll need that. We have an overproduction in food. It's not here. It's here. So let's make more hammers. We're not using any research, because we're not researching that way. When push comes to shove, I have other ways to construct ships if needed. So, and you see we've built an automated repair bay. Now we can build something new, and I go for the cloning center, because we will need more people. As soon as we have enough people, we can start pushing them over the edge. and making them into, well, science, actually. So, as you see now, we have nearly everything we need. The only thing more we need is a cloning center. 38 tones. Yeah, no, we have a real problem with our reproduction. So what comes now might look terrible to you, but it's necessary. We start sacrificing people. We've been throwing citizens into the sacrifice pit for generations, and now it has always worked us out the same way. We select a few political dissidents, enemies of the state, or other willing volunteers to toss them into the pit. The wealth and property goes towards the supporting the states. The masses are satisfied, and we have paid sufficient homage to our God, and lives on. Except this time, when we threw some citizens into the pit, something answered. Not sooner than the last volunteer disappeared into the gloomy depths of the pit, than a planet-wide system has received from all frequencies. The sender claimed to be our god, and said it was pleased with our sacrifice. It told us that if we awakened an ancient knowledge to discover of the star drive, it told us that if we survive our discovery of this knowledge, then we'll need to help our god more than ever. And we'll need the help of our god more than ever. Go for the stars, the voice said, and bring me more sacrifices. Prove me devotion by sacrificing 10 aliens into the pit. Do that thing, and I will grant you a boon. Fail me, and you shall once more have a silence from your god. Yeah, what do we know? Well, we know that the sacrificing thing is the greatest thing there ever been, because at the moment we're getting 50 gold and 50 research per citizen that we toss over the pit. As soon as we sacrifice aliens, we'll get the double number, meaning we'll get 100 research and 100 gold for each of our own citizens, and we'll get the double number on the aliens, because aliens give the double number for sacrificing them. Normally they give 100 gold and 100 research. When we've done 10 of them, they will get 200 research and 200 gold. And furthermore, just that you know, if you do that, you will also be able to get rid of races that you don't like. For example, if you've got races that are not reproducing very well or that are not building very well, you can toss them in a pit. If you have a planet conquered that you cannot keep, that you will lose to the enemy, take all the population and toss them into the pit like it's hell. You get something out of it, and it does not cost you anything. And that's just great. That makes this so powerful. Nevertheless, we need more sacrifices. 3 production per worker, that's nice, but what we really want is the fighter bay. So even if it hurts, we need to toss more people into the pit. So, fighter base. What is there to know about fighter base? I will show you now. Before we build that, we built the Xenomine, because Xenomine is king. More hammers are good. And it's quite cheap to build, compared to other things. So, the fighter base. Fighter base are great. Now you ask why. Because fighter base are extensively cheap. I will show you. We can fit 5 fighter base. No, we can even fit more in here. Wait. Just look at this. Yeah, we can even put the one down here. So now we've got a ship with 8 fighter base. We equip it with this one. And of course we'll give it some nuclear bombs. They're very important. Never forget your nuclear bombs. They're absolutely necessary. We give him some fuel. 300 is more than enough. And when you look at the price of the ship, you'll instantly notice that we're absolutely cheap for the moment. Okay, we have to rearrange something here. Compare the cost to the cost of the ship that we build, the small frigate, and you will instantly notice what I mean. So, I think we need one more reactor. So, as for weapons, yes, we could take some armor with us. Armor is not that costly. Oh, we can even... No, it's not necessary. Because where there is shooting, there will be pain. Oops. Just keep an eye on the price of the ship that I'm building. Just keep an eye on the price of the ship, okay? So, that ship is ready. It is a cruiser. It has the range. It has the firepower. Thanks to these things here, it's incredible. It has an incredible high firepower. And it's totally awesome. It's cheap like hell. So, yes, we'll need some close-range defense weapons. Because we can expect our enemies to get close with missiles and perhaps fighter planes. So what we can do, as it is that cheap, we could... no, we're not doing that. We're doing this. This is the cheapest version. So... Nice. We build a nuclear power plant here, and we build that there, and you will see we can fire indefinitely, and we have a ship that is only very, very little more costly than the frigate, and it has an incredible high firepower, trust me. We could even build more fuel cells in it, because they're just so cheap, and they give us some extra range, and there you have it. A ship at 200 hammers with a firepower like double. And it's the big empty. I'm not sure if you write that way, but I'm very, very bad at English writing. So, let's ask ourselves how long will it take to build the big empty. 9 turns. Any more questions? I think not. 8 turns, actually. 40 gold, buy that thing. That will help us to stay clear of any costs with the transporters, because we'll need our transporters very, very soon. So, choose research. This little icons here tell you that this is a ship fighter bay weapon, and that's what we need, fighter bay weapon. So we research this. So they have built what we need, and we're going for the automated bay. Why were we going for the automated bay, not for the Xeno mine? Because the automated bay is far easier to build, and at the moment a flat bonus to construction gives us more than a bonus to the citizen itself. They're still building on their farm. Let's speed that up for a very reasonable price. Have a quick look at our planets. They're building 2 food, they're building 1 food. There is no reason for us to change that. Galactic News, thanks for turning back to Galactic News Network. Not like you have the choice. Our transmitters are easily most powerful one in the galaxy. On one day's episode Racial Profiling, we'll continue our exploration of the galaxy's newest FTL-capable species, the United Federation. The United Federation, well, I don't read all that to you, but is there more than just arrogance and greed? Yeah, there's more than arrogance and greed. What kind of question is that? Who are you people? Who's the origin of this transmission? Well, this guy will not reveal that transmission. And as you can see, there is an enemy fleet inbound. What can we do? Well, we hope that our little fighter plane is able to repel them. The big MT is being built within 6 turns. We could rush production now, but we have no real reason. We trust in the defensive capabilities of our ship. So now we have a little too much production in food. We can do this, but it's not that bad. It will keep money flowing. You see, we're already losing a lot of money because of the colony maintenance of all the buildings. So the ship will be there soon, so even if we rush the big empty will not arrive there in time to do any good. We will simply have to trust in the defensive abilities of our ships, of our one ship. Everyone here is building. Yeah, my friend, you're foolish to refuse your request. We'll say we want to kill. They want to kill us. And they tell now in the news that we're at war. Yeah, and here they come. Well, not our problem. We'll stop them. No problem. The big MT will be ready soon. We have a large food overproduction. Yeah, I know, I'm doing it wrong. I'm doing it wrong. So, I should do it by this window. It's much more comfortable. So, I think we'll have a star battle within seconds now. And the big MT is nearly ready. Fight. So, what is there? I do not know what you've already seen. But you know that we're not, I repeat, we're not very good at fighting with our ship. We trust that our rockets will do the job. We're not armored, we're roughly the same size. He is a frigate, we're a frigate. And we're starting to fire our rockets, and he will be able to shoot down some of the rockets for sure. But he will not survive this. As you see, we're already running low on ammunition. The ammunition is going down, and he's starting to destroy our rockets. But he's already getting a lot of damage. And he's firing at us. No, actually he's firing at rockets. You see, no problem. We have not been damaged, the rockets did the job, and we got the medal. You get medals for your ships, whatever you do. Well, not whatever you do, but you get a lot of medals. So, you should focus on one weapon type. Why? Because there is a medal for rocket ships. For example, if you kill 5 targets with missiles, rockets, you get a special bonus to the ship for your rocket attacks, missile attacks. So, if you have mixed weapons, that's not good, because then you're only getting the bonus for half of your weapons. If half of your weapons are missiles. So try to stay with one weapon if possible. Stay with fighters, stay with cannons, stay with missiles. You've seen what missiles can do. The only problem is that missiles are not that effective when it comes against enemies with a high point defense or big armor. So we go next turn, and there it is. The beaches of Zero and Zero system had long been known for their pristine sands, crystal coves, and tropical oceans. But as many secrets of such value, the word was bound to get out. Today marks the opening of a massive tropical resort on Zero 4, catering all species of aliens from all over the galaxy. The combination of tropical sanity with modern, and it is irresistible against 10 approval. What does that mean? Well, look at the planet. Approval modifier +1. In other words, this planet is so perfect that the people love it here, and they get a huge bonus to their hammers, for example. Very happy +4. That totally annihilates or counters our waste pollution. Food, Well, we're not getting any bonus because there aren't workers here, but you get the point. There is a new fleet here. They're simply turning around. So, our ship is ready. You see it has 32 fighter planes with it. So we say our ship go there. And I think we should build another one. We should at least have 2 big empties in our arsenal to fight. And furthermore, we need ground troops. Now, what is there to know about ground troops? Yes, you can upgrade them. You can give them the equipment you want. What do I recommend? Shields are great. Energy weapons are great. Healing kits, someone should have it. Knives, one should have it. Why should you have knives? Because you cannot destroy the shield yourself unless you have a knife. Laser weapons or any other weapons will just go through it. That's a fact. So you will need that. Furthermore, heavy armor is nice because it will keep you from taking a lot of damage. Always carry a rifle and a deployable shield. Whoa, rifle. No, fusion carabines are not that good because they take more action points to fire. Yes, they do a little bit more damage, but not that much. So I stay with the laser rifle. So, remember, shield can only destroy by knife, but is quite good. Especially when you're low on health points. Heavy armor is good and laser rifle is good. So, how do I launch my ships? Well, my fighters. You click them. We have one transport overdue. So we take that one and say launch. And look at this. We've got a transport on our way. Nice. And let's give it a turn. Who the hell are you? A pirate fleet. Well, who cares? This guy, as you can see, you can right-click the enemy as long as you're on the action map. It's an exploration frigate. It's not a warship. It cannot fight. It's just transporting the troops. They're hoping that we've been on our way back from defending our colony and then they get our colony without defenses. That was their idea. The idea failed, obviously. These are pirates. Not very strong ships, if you ask me. They've got the laser cannons that we all know. They've got some rockets with miserable range. And they are armored quite well. You can always look fusion power. That is something we do not have. So, you see, we have some technology. We have some way to look into the enemy. You cannot do that on the combat map. You can only do that on the strategic map. We will not go on auto fight because we cannot destroy this raider until it jumps away, but somehow the computer can. Now you ask me how he can do that, I've got no idea. Our ship has been damaged. By what? I cannot tell you because exploration vessel is not armed in any way. So, yeah, no idea here. He's starting to produce food, no need. So look at our planet overview. Everything's doing fine, everything's doing fine. We could speed up things here by building that. It will pay off, trust me. Might be money, but it's worth it. So, what we need now is... How many people can be on this world? 2. Oh, then a cloning center is not the right choice. Then I want you to build a command base. We're here on this planet for the production, for the diamond rain, not for anything else. And we must accept that as it is. So, on this planet here it goes for the same. We're not here for the hammers. We're not here for anything else. We're here for the wall tree and the spices. Well, generally we're here for the spices. So we're having an overproduction of food again. That means in some worlds there are too many workers working on food production. Like here. Nice. We're already getting a minus in money. How can that be? Well, quite easy. We have too many buildings. So as you can see here, another big empty has been built, and we'll order it to the fleet. They're building a xeno mine. That's nice. We're losing money, but only a little. That's okay. And now we'll have to fight. And now you will see the fighters in action. Important thing about fighters, always stay back. The frigate is still damaged. It's not repaired yet. So what do we know? When we begin battle, we can always pause the battle by pressing the space bar. These little ships are no real threat for us. Now if we want to launch our fighters, we click this button when the pause is not engaged. And you see the fighters will start. We can mark them and we can say go there and destroy that guy. This little thing here tells us the distance our ships stay before they engage the enemy or before they start moving on the battlefield. Our ships shall not move. Our ships shall simply destroy and fire missiles from afar. As you see, they're swarming the enemy, starting ripping him apart. And they're quite good at this. He's trying to get rid of them, but he's not very effective at this moment. Okay, oh yes, yeah, they have a lot of range defense, how is it called? Point defense weapons. You're a strong little fellow, I give you that. So, he's not firing anymore because most of his weapon system went offline now. Yes, I acknowledge the rockets did more damage than the that much good fighter weapons at the moment. So... normally our ships should repair close to the base. Yeah, it is repaired. When you look at it, it's repaired. It's repairing. They're repairing. Everything's good. So now we're at -3 money because of all the junk we build. So Starbase is our next goal. Everyone's building starbases for more command points, and hopefully we're growing. So, ships are ready. It's time to invade. Time to pay back, you could say. So we've got a food overproduction again. Let's see how that is possible. So a quick look at the planet. Everything's still okay. Yes, we're doing a little bit minus food, but we have the transports, so that's not a problem. We're making negative money. Fort shootage. Okay, that's not good. We should let someone stay there. They want to have the planet produced on their own planet. Their food produced on their own planet. Well, so it may be. We could now buy the xenomine, but we'll have to keep our money together for obvious reasons. So as soon as the xenomine is built, we build the cloning center to get people on board again. And after that, we'll build more of our big empty ships. Now, as you can see, this ion beam thing costs us 92 research points. It's automatically equipped to all ships. So before we go into a real fight, we will upgrade our fighter weapons, and then our fighters will be far more effective than they've been in the last battle. They were not very impressive, I give you that. So, I think that's it for today. Next day, we'll do some planetary invasion and some pitting. See you next time. Bye.